Hi, everyone. I'm Sophia, and I'm part of the SGD digital team. And here with me is Kelly, our CEO and head of growth at SGD. Today, we're going to talk about two topics that play a huge role in setting the tone for the future of any business: mission and vision. Hi, Simon. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you, Sophia.
Good. So thank you for giving us this time, and it's going to be very fun. So I'm going to ask you a few questions so you can give us all your expertise and share with us all your knowledge on mission and vision, okay? Cool. So to kick things off, many businesses talk about having a mission and vision, but it can sometimes be unclear how these two elements work together. Could you please explain us the difference between a vision and a mission and why it's important to understand that for setting up goals for a business?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to the vision of a company, it's why does the business exist and what is the change that that business is trying to create in the world? So one way to think about that is if this business was to complete its vision, what would be different? So on workshops that I typically run with clients, the way that I talk about this is I use Elon Musk as an example, like love him or hate him, but his vision is to save humanity. Now, that's something that, like, how will you know when that's done? That's a massive thing, but that's a mission that he's got with the multiple companies and all the different things that he's wanting to do. However, his mission, so that's his vision to save humanity. The mission is something that's quantifiable and achievable and something that you can actually measure when it's done or not. To save humanity, very hard to measure when that's done or not. The mission of get to Mars, you can quantify when that's done or not. So vision to save humanity, mission, get to Mars. You can tell if you've got to Mars or not. Like, are you on Mars? Yes or no? Like, you can see if that's done. So it's kind of, mission is similar to a SMART goal, like specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-based. I think people have some slightly different variations on that acronym, but still, it's something that's achievable, quantifiable, and you can actually get it done. That's the mission that we're on.
Okay, great. That makes total sense. And I think that it's important that you tell us these specific things because, like I said, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to understand the difference between it. So that was great. And, when a business is going to start setting up or deciding the vision and mission, what are some key things that you think that they need to do first, like some research, or what do you think that a business needs to consider before actually saying, this is my mission and vision, or start working on it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So thinking about the direction that your team is headed, like what is the change that we're trying to achieve here? So taking some time to think about the activities that you do on a daily basis. Some advice that I've had in the past is look at your industry and what is it that really, forgive my language, but what really pisses you off about other people in the industry? So for SGD, for our company, Seriously Good Design, one of the things that we put our flag in the sand for is being an ethical marketing business. So what pisses us off in the industry is other SEO, web design, Google Ads agencies taking the money of small businesses, confusing them with complex reports and delivering no results. It's incredibly frustrating for the small businesses, I'm sure. It's incredibly frustrating for us. We hate to see it. We hate to see sales teams that are really good on the front end and then they do not deliver on the back end. It's awful, and we want to really be a stand against that. So these really align with our values, and it helps us to this thinking around the industry and the change that we want to be in the world. That helps guide our thinking around our vision and our mission.
Well, that's great because, one of the other things that also a mission and vision brings for a business, I think, is clarity, right? Clarity in terms of what goals you want to do or how you want to grow for the business. For example, for this 2026. So this is actually why we're talking about this right now, because I thought that it was important, to share this knowledge with our community now that 2026 it's coming. So why will you say that a mission and vision will be driving growth and clarity for a business?
So one of the things that disrupts a business's growth more than anything else is indecision and lack of clarity. when you're trying to achieve anything and you don't have a specific goal and a way to get there and a way to measure your progress on that way, it can create confusion, disorganization, and a general apathy, lack of energy in order to produce a particular result. So by making the decision once around what your overarching vision is, and then the mission that you're on, whether that's for 2026, this year, next year, 2 to 3 years, we don't want to get too far beyond that. So 1 to 3 years would be something I'd recommend for the mission so that you don't lose steam on your way to get there. So it's helpful because you make that decision once and then you are on a mission. You start executing and you're focused. So if you imagine getting, just to use another metaphor, if you imagine getting to an airport and you're standing there and you're like, you know what, I don't really mind where I go. I'm just kind of happy to go wherever. It's going to be very hard to know when you've arrived. It's going to be very hard to pick a plane. You're going to be moving around the airport. Like maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Like, I don't actually know where I'm going. So like any plane is good enough, but choosing one is a commitment. Choosing, like, where are you going? You're going to Honolulu, you're going there. It is the commitment and we're heading there. You no longer are stuck in indecision. I went over to the US further than Honolulu. I went to Phoenix, Arizona, and I went to a coaching session with Brooke Castillo. And she talked about when you do not make decisions, you are stuck in what's called the messy middle. You're stuck in a place where you're like, maybe this, maybe that, I'm not sure. And so much energy is spent being in the messy middle. When you make a decision, when you put your business on a mission, all energy, the team, the resources, everything can go towards that mission.
Well, that's awesome. And that's a good example as well. Thank you. It's really good. So now, as you have actually shown us here in SGD to the whole team, we like to keep things practical and to also, share what we also do internally. So could you quickly share like a small analysis or a short analysis on where we are right now in our mission and vision from SGD, like what we are envisioning for 2026 and how we are applying everything that we have just discussed in our business, and for our clients as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did a workshop for ourselves in December, I believe. So we typically run something called a digital strategy workshop to help our clients clarify, align their marketing team. And one of the exercises that we go through is vision, mission, values. So I'm going to just share a snippet of the workbook that we did for SGD. So looks like that one's come up. All right, so we have this workbook. I've just gone to the very bottom. We have this workbook. It's got multiple pages, multiple exercises that we do as part of this digital roadmap. But one piece of this is the business overview. Just going to zoom in a bit so we can see what's going on. So our overall vision here, to empower Australian organizations with ethical digital marketing expertise that helps them grow. And a little quote that we've kind of distilled here is partnering with our clients for online growth, just to really simplify that. And then our mission to be the go-to WordPress and digital marketing agency for growth-driven marketing teams and business owners in Melbourne. So Melbourne is where our main office is. We work with clients throughout Australia, 80% of our clients, and we also work with clients internationally. But that as our overarching mission. So when we're thinking about the actions that we're taking, if there's indecision happening with the team, we could come back to this mission. Does it help us become the go-to WordPress and digital marketing agency in Melbourne? Is it helping us do this? Then it's a distraction. Are we empowering Australian organizations with ethical marketing expertise that helps them grow right now? Then it's a distraction.
That's good, and yes, I remember that you did this with the leadership team. So it's really nice that we, something that I like, from what we do with clients is that we also try out the things that we do with clients, right? To actually see that they are effective. So thank you for sharing that, because I think that's important. And now, before we go, what advice will you give to a business looking to set up a strong, clear mission and vision for 2026? Like, how can they start?
What is the best way to get started? I think that most businesses are already on some kind of mission. It just hasn't been distilled. It hasn't been decided. So I think it's not about coming up with it just straight away and then telling your team. I think that that's definitely a common mistake that a lot of business owners and leadership team do, is they try to come up with it themselves and tell their team what it's all about. But it is about bringing your team on the journey. It doesn't mean it needs to come from them either, but it's creating a facilitated discussion so that you can, what emerges from that discussion can be the learnings from your team and a distilled mission and vision. Some advice that I had from Ed Dale when I was doing some coaching with Troy Dean was involvement breeds commitment. If you're not having your team involved in this process, even just getting their feedback in some way, then they're not going to be as committed to your vision and mission. So very important that they're involved in some way. There's the opposite side of this is it can be death by committee, as in too many cooks spoil the broth. Like too many opinions and everything can make it very, very difficult to reach some kind of consensus. But allowing people to contribute is incredibly powerful. I would highly recommend dividing into 2 sessions. One, where you're talking through a vision and what we're trying to achieve and what we think about the industry and the difference that we want to make. And then over the next 12 months, what is a milestone that we can get to prove that we are on the way towards this mission? So that would be in the first session. Brainstorming with an exercise that I've done before is to put things on Post-it notes so that you spend 5 minutes just writing down all the ideas that you've got, put them on the wall, Post-it note style, and then have everyone vote on the things that they resonate with the most. That's quite an easy way, and then that's the entire team coming together. There's online tools like Figma, FigJam through Figma, Miro. These online tools facilitate a very similar thing with online Post-it notes. So that would be the first one, and then the second one would be taking all of the information and things you discussed in the first one and bringing it together to encapsulate the vision and mission. So that's how I'd recommend to get started.
Well, that's great. That's good. That's good. So I really thank you so much for your time today and for sharing such valuable insights. I'm sure that our audience will be leaving with clearer understanding on how to approach mission and vision. So thank you very much, Simon. And we hope everyone watching really enjoyed this content and also learn a lot from it. Anything you want to say?
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Sophia. I've enjoyed this session. And if anyone is looking for some support and a facilitated workshop to guide clarifying your vision and mission, one of the things that we do at SGD is the digital strategy workshop. And also to go deeper on this, my good friend Troy Dean from Agency Mavericks, he offers selectively something called a North Star workshop, where it's just very, very deep into this kind of content. He's had exceptional results with agencies and various businesses, especially not-for-profits, with aligning their teams.
Awesome, great. So all those links are going to be on the description on the video. Thank you. Bye.